Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your offspring I will give this land." So he built there an altar to the Lord who had appeared to him. Hello, this is Kenny Underwood coming to you from Women in Sermon. That's from Genesis 12. And it's where God actually appeared to Abram. And when God appeared to people in the Old Testament, perhaps in human form, it's called a theophany. So God appeared to Abram, and he actually saw him in some type of form, and perhaps, again, it was in a human form. A theophany is a manifestation of God in the Bible that is tangible to the human senses, or in other words, it's a visible appearance of God in the Old Testament period. Another good example of that is from Exodus 24. And again, the Old Testament is full of these types of appearances. I encourage you to seek them out and find them for yourself. Exodus 24 says, "Then Moses went up, also Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and they saw the God of Israel." Again, he appeared to them in some type of form, perhaps in human form. And a lot of people believe that when God appeared in human form in the Old Testament, it was actually the pre-incarnate Christ appearing to them. Christ, before he actually came to live with us in the New Testament, it was him appearing in the Old Testament to these biblical characters. That's called a Christophany. A good example of that, many people believe, is in Genesis 18. It said, "The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre, while he was sitting at the entrance to his tent in the heat of the day. Abraham looked up and saw 3 men standing nearby. When he saw them, he hurried from the entrance of his tent to meet them and bowed low to the ground." So there perhaps was Jesus appearing to Abraham with 2 other people, or maybe heavenly beings, who knows. But again, when Christ appears like that, it's called a Christophany. Some Bible commentators actually believe that when you see the words, "the angel of the Lord," that is in fact also Christ, the pre-incarnate Christ appearing in the Old Testament. And here's a good example of that from Genesis 22. This is the angel calling out to Abraham. "But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven, 'Abraham, Abraham.' 'Here I am,' he replied. 'Do not lay a hand on the boy,' he said. 'Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son.' Abraham looked up, and there in a thicket he saw a ram caught by its horns. He went over and took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son." There again, the angel of the Lord. Was that the pre-incarnate Christ actually appearing in the Old Testament? You know, the Bible's full of so many wonderful, rich stories if we'll just take the time to read them. If you're not part of a Sunday school class or part of a Bible study, I encourage you to take the time to do that. Don't let this world go by without learning some of God's Word. You know, it's a wonderful thing to spend time with other people studying God's Word. It brings you together, and it'll open up so much to you. If you don't like that type of atmosphere, just grab a Bible and find a quiet corner and read. God will open these words to you, and it will enrich your life, and it will make a change in your life. There's your 1 minute sermon. God bless.